we should try to reach the perspective of Krishna. So the end of the Gita is not where Gandhi goes. He stays with karma yoga. But if you keep going, then the end of the Gita is, I think, pretty clear. It says, therefore, whatever you do, do it me-minded, Krishna-minded. So if you, Prasad, at 17, were being influenced by chapter 9 or 10 or 11 and not just chapter 2, you would have said, I'm going to continue to study science and technology and economics because everything I'm doing is filled with love for Krishna. That would be the ultimate. It's not where it starts. It starts with Arjuna being depressed and Krishna relating to him in his depression. I mean, he doesn't say, don't be silly, be me-minded. He works with him. And 40 pages later, Arjuna, who was depressed, is now getting a clue that, oh, it's not about me, and so I should do my duty. But then it turns out my duty is what Krishna is holding in this tremendous vision, which he then shows him. But it seems to me, at least, and I think to others, that Arjuna would not have been ready for this vision in chapter 2. He had to wait until Krishna brought him through, emptied his ego a little bit, and made him ready for the battle in a way that he was doing what he should do and not how do I avoid spears and how many people can I kill, but how do I participate in this war which we didn't start and which we don't understand, but which Krishna seems to understand. So whether you do it historically or allegorically, it's still a battle that should go on. So what is the battle? Well, some people say it's the battle in the human heart. Gandhi, of course, says that, and that's quite wonderful. But whichever one of those interpretations you favor, if you really do the Gita to its completion, the ultimate aim is Krishna revealing himself as a god. So the way I think about it, there are two important revelations in the Gita. Yes. One is the yogas, the most immediately important one being karma, but the other is also terribly important. I mean, when you act, you have to act out of love. So that's one part of the Gita, which I think we can make sense of universally without Hinduism, without the details. We can just get that one yoga after another until we have all four and we work with them. But the other part is the revelation of Krishna himself, not just by him, but of him, who he is and what he is, namely he's a god. And I don't know how well that travels. I mean, I'm a student of Rudolf Steiner who, given these lectures saying that, of course, Krishna's a god, right? And there are Western people who hold that Krishna is a god, and there's more than one god, or avatar, divine beings on earth. So eventually we have to get to the point, if the Gita is to be taken with complete seriousness.
I have to hold you there for a second. I got to ask you, I'm so forced to ask this question. Is it really important to ascertain or to prove that one God is the only one, or there is more than one God, or there is a Buddhist God and a Christian God, an Islamic God, or a Hindu God, or is it just the way we wear sunglasses of different colors? We just happen to see that divine entity in different ways in our own minds. What is your view?
If I really knew the answer to this question, Kal, I'd be very rich and famous. But I'll give you my opinion.
All right.
Okay.
And right after that, I got a very important question, so please.
Yeah, this is a very important question. In the Bhagavad Gita, it's pretty clear that Krishna is aware that there are other gods. Because in these middle chapters, he talks about how he is the number one god of all the gods. And he includes them all. Right. And so one of the great things, many great things about Hinduism, but one of the great advantages of Hinduism is that it doesn't have this exclusivity. It has the opportunity for tolerance built right in, because it's very comfortable. Different gods, not just for different purposes, but that revealed themselves for different ideals and different practices. All right, and they don't. There isn't this need to say it's only this one. Right. The West, the Abrahamic religions, are stuck with this problem, that there's some amount of exclusivity built right into the revelation. I am the only God, and you will not have other gods before me.
Even within the Gita, there is one verse in there, and I can't remember right now. It says, even those who believe in other gods, knowingly or unknowingly, will ultimately come to me.
Right.
So says Krishna.
Yes, that's true.
So he has already encountered that problem somehow, or anticipated that problem,
Right.
has covered that, appears to me.
He has. But he hasn't said those people who worship those other gods, I mean, particularly Shiva, all right? Since Hindus are followers of Vishnu and Krishna, or Shiva and all the incarnations of or manifestations of Shiva, and other gods too, but these are the two dominant traditions. He doesn't say all those people who worship Shiva or some version of Shiva, Durga or Kali, are wrong. There's no such being. These are false gods. He doesn't say that. He says all those people, whether they know it or not, in worshiping Shiva or Kali or Durga, are really worshiping me, because I'm more inclusive than they are.
Different sunglasses besides.
No, it's not just different sunglasses, I don't think. You could be right, but I think it's much more that in this text, Krishna is saying, I am a divinity that is without limit. So the way I think about it, since you asked me, I'll try to answer. The way I think about it, the more local we are, the more specific our understanding of the divine is. But as we go up to larger and larger conceptions, we get to only a few. And then maybe we get to one. And probably when we get to one, it's not so much in history as it is like the concept Brahman, which is one without a second, or one without time. And then as soon as you do time, and then you do more revelation, more history, more specificity, it gets more local.